All right. Back, we've got a Hinnom stream today. Go ahead and bring it up. Okay. So we are now on turn 26 in a DE Hinnom game that I joined. Well, I didn't just join it. I've been playing the whole time, but I've been sort of playing it on the background. I haven't been like saving the turns or anything, just sort of casually doing it. But come to an interesting, or at least maybe an interesting decision point. And so I wanted to sort of hop on here and see what people thought about the situation, what we ought to do. So to give some background, so we're playing in an 11-player game, so the map is a little weird. I think there were slightly more provinces available per person as well. So expansion went on for a little bit longer than it normally does. But in any event, we had a pretty successful expansion. So you can see here's Hinnom. We got most pressed by Abyssia, who took an Awake expander. So they were able to get like a pretty good amount of land down here. We have a nap. One province border with Yomi. This prior was Vanheim. And so Vanheim we have kind of a strange border with. But nothing too bad. We got a decent border with Kalem. We have an even split border with Bod. And so we have naps with Bod, Abyssia, Vanheim. And then Yomi and I are fighting the birds, and Albion has declared war on me. We'll come back to that in a minute. So basically, somewhere around turn 20, I think, I saw a stack of birds show up here. And I did not trust their intentions because I had not spoken to the bird player all game. And I kind of wanted to fight the birds anyway because I didn't want to leave them behind me. So I actually went ahead and patrolled this fort and caught a bunch of birds. And like I killed, so he had, I think, 180 birds. And he split into 5 parties, 30 each except 60 who went on here. And so I killed this, lost 1 Dawn Guard and some wolves. We got free wolves. We got a random werewolf, so we've just been getting some nice free patrol chaff going all game. He took a couple other provinces. We have since, right, it's been a couple turns. We have struck back. We took one of his forts. I think all of this stuff used to belong to the birds. But, so the developments for this turn. So the birds have this Lord of Knowledge. This is a DE pretender. It is like an elephant with 4 excuse me, 4 arms. And so he has given it a midget masher, a sword of swiftness, a sword of sharpness, strength boots, black steel hat, the fish scale armor, which I think is a DE armor. It gives you liquid body. And then a burning pearl. And he last turn had magic phased onto a Yomi Dione and killed it. And then it spent the turn, so I guess maybe those 2 turns ago, because it spent last turn then walking back to the capital. So it puts us in an interesting spot. So I've already done some testing on my own. We have randomly got the Axe of Rulership in a random event. So in DE, this is a level 6 artifact, which the key bit is it has arm loss. And I doesn't really appear that there's much that like reflects this, or I think it looks kind of like if you hit somebody, they lose their arm, which is what it seemed like in testing. I'm not sure if there's a way to avoid it or not, but we were using this. This seems to chop up the god pretty good. It has currently only been doing, I think like luck, twist fate, personal regen. Although it has 2 water, 2 nature, 4 astral. So I expect moss body as well. But we're waiting on this guy. We're gonna give him a I think a Mangosh of Pairing to up his defense. The god only has like 18 attack, so this will bring him back up to about parity on the attack. And he's gonna have tons of defense. We have for research, Conjuration 3, Alt 4, Evo 2, Construction 4, Enchantment 3, and Blood 2. So we've got Alt 4, so we've got Iron Skin, Temper Flesh. We're also going to be sending him in with Enlarge and Regen, and then some Swarm casts. The Swarm casts are actually kind of important. It helps distract the god a little bit. The most danger we're in is the first couple turns before we get a chance to cut his arms off. But they also provide bodies between the god and escape. Before I put it in, we were winning all the fights, but the god was getting away. So adding those in testing helped us keep the god right in the fight long enough for us to cut him down. Now, so I think that our Melkart next turn will be ready to cut the god up with his backup. We could also consider if we want to bring in DE Hinnom has a mist form that we could put on the Melkart, which would keep him safer as well. And I kind of think we want to do that, and I hadn't done it yet, so... Ooh, it's 2 turns to get there, though. That's... yeah, this river is pretty annoying. It's actually okay, though. We'll do that. It's fine. Because I think he'll still get there in time. Or we're going to keep raiding over here. The problem is that I don't want the Titan God to fight our army. I also have some fears. Our army, I think, will certainly kill. We have a lot of Dawn Guard, as well as Undead and some regular Avite troops. I think that our magic, we're basically just doing... actually don't need these anymore. Originally, I had sent them out before we had Summon Earth Power, so this guy needs 1, I guess. So they needed the gems, but this guy too doesn't need them. So we're just doing Summon Earth Power, Legions of Steel, and Strength of Giants for the most part on our guys, and we're gonna try and chop them up with superior quality. I'm not terribly afraid of air elementals. We have tons of magic weapons available, so I think we'll chop through the air elementals pretty quickly. I am afraid of Mass Storm Thunderstrike, and it's turn 26, so I think that's very possible. So the other thing that I'm kind of waiting on is deciding if I actually want to attack or if I want to wait a couple turns to get Alt 5 to bring our lightning resistance online. Because that'll help go kind of a long way, I think, in mitigating some of that T-strike damage. So the problem is we can, if we want to, we can move and try and take this fortress, but he could fly his army here, or his god could walk, or his god could magic. He doesn't need a magic phase, I guess. His god could move here or move and patrol, and I just don't think we can lose our army that way. At least I just don't want to lose our army if the god does walk here. I don't know that we're strong enough to kill it. It is tremendously killy with 3 weapons. So I haven't sent like the whole army at it, but I sent like a smaller group just in testing of Dawn Guard, and they got absolutely shredded. The Melkart in the back didn't even finish his buff cycle before the Dawn Guard were routed. So I'm on the one hand, I am worried that we are playing this very passively, and I don't have forever. But I just don't think I can stand to lose lose my army here. Yeah, if he does move the god, I think that would be really bad. Because we're kind of on a knife's edge because it's birds. Like, if this whole army dies, our troops back at home are kind of limited. We have some, but not a ton. And these birds could absolutely just start popping forts. So we have I have concerns, to say the least. So yeah, so the choice is, do we want to move or not? I think I've currently talked myself into not moving. If I don't want to move, do I want to patrol this? Because he might think that we can move here, and he might move bird forces and attack here. His god can't make it here, I think. Yeah, and because it's six movement, 3 in, 3 out, 12 movement, yeah, through enemy territory. He can't make it here. Although he could magic phase. And if he magic phases and I'm patrolling, I again lose the whole army. But if he attacks with the birds and I patrol, I potentially kill his army. I'm in a bit of a quandary. We also, so then the other time pressures, right? Obviously we have, Caleb is obviously continuing to research, continue to potentially get stronger. We're getting stronger. Yomi is on the back foot slightly while he develops his own anti-god kit. And then Albion is going to attack us, or ended their nap with me anyway. Now, this feels like the most ridiculous war from an Albion perspective. His bless is like regen blood bond MR, 2 MR, and maybe some undying. So no plus strength. So his entire army can be fairly easily tanked by a Melkart with an Earth Melkart who has an Astral Mage for body ethereal, and then also the Nature Mage for the growth, or the enlarge and the regen. But even besides the fact that I think a Melkart can give him a lot of trouble, and I did test that with the demon buff, he's sending demonic bloodbond giants who have almost no defense, right? Their whole defense is in their like huge amount of tattoos, right? Like they have like 3 tattoos, they get a lot of tattoos. They only have 5 protection. I have all magic weapons. I don't care about your tattoos. I will admit, I don't know if I tested during the right season from this Power of the Turning Year thing. So that's relevant. The height of each season, and we'll gain stuff during that. Okay. But it seems dicey to want to run those units that just don't have any real defense into my army of magic weapons. And it's not even like I have to take on a bless. All of my troops are all gonna have magic weapons. The Melkart's always gonna have magic weapons. I don't know. It felt... It's a choice. We also, to say nothing of the fact that we have like a 1 province border that he can't cross because there's a river here. It would appear that his war with Femoria also is not as over as he probably hoped it was. I think Femoria is dying, but looks like he might be able to cause a little bit of extra carnage here on his way out. So that's helpful. We're sending this one Earth Melkart back. He's going to get equipped up at the capital and then team up with eventually, right, one of these Ami and then some of our Akkas. And he's going to try and hold this front over here such as he can while we try and deal with the bird situation up north. So I think I've talked myself into sitting still. The problem is that I always talk myself into sitting still. And so I don't know if that's actually a good decision. I could also, I think, very reasonably send a small squad here. That way, if he doesn't patrol or help it out, I do manage to put it under siege, which is pretty relevant. I think we can afford to do that with some of our Just random avites. I'm gonna put, yeah, maybe we send a small amount of birds. We're gonna put, let's see, this guy goes back here. Let's put this squad right behind him. And hold and attack flyers should be fine. And I don't want him on retreat. Hold, stay behind troops. Obviously, we're comfortable losing this party if that is what ends up happening. So we're gonna try and take a little bit more and sort of nibble away at Calum here. We've got some more raiding parties moving. Try and nibble away, and just sort of see if we can get him to commit an army, because we have the tools to kill his army. We have the tools to kill his god. We just have to make sure we put the right tool to the right purpose. So that's sort of where we're at. And again, I might just wait 2 turns really before I do anything to get alteration here all finished up. And then have that shock resistance to really go in. At first when I opened the turn, I thought that his god is 20 movement, so it's 6 out, and then 6 to move, and then 7 for this. So it's 19, and then it's snow, so it's +1. Or is it +3? Is there snow for each of these? Hold on. How does snow work? Because if it's +1 per, and not +1 in total, which is maybe what it is, that is probably what it is. That means that the god would not be able to move here. And if he can't move, then he'd have to magic phase. And if he magic phases, he ends up in the fort, which is very different from him getting to, means that he can't fight my army this turn. Let's see. Now, right, this shows a much higher, these are all enemy provinces, so it shows a much higher movement amount. Because an enemy province adds +4. So it'd be like 7 +1 +4, so 12 to leave here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 22, 24. And then another 12 to get in here because it's 6, 7, 8, 9, something like that. Yeah. Okay. If he has to magic phase in, we might be able to bait him. And if that's the case, we do need to go and test this army against probably Storm, Thunderstrike, Air Elementals, because I think he could reasonably have all of that. Take a couple of quick pictures. I don't know how many mages he could afford to bring, but it's birds, so he could bring a lot. Harab Seraphs, Arya Seraphs. I don't think the Arya Seraphs are going to be scary at all for us. Like, those are just the little fire ones, right? Yeah, I don't care about those. The Harabs, 1 out of 3 could cast T-Strike with the boost. The Eagle Kings are obviously the more dangerous beast. It's got probably, it's turn 26, he could have 10 maybe? Something like that. And then he's got, call it 400 birds. Okay. 400 birds. All right, let's unfinish and exit and go to a test game. Okay, so we need to recruit. Okay, we've already got a shit ton of birds, but we need mages. Let's make some Eagle Kings. It has been a long time. I was busy, and then etc. etc. But now we're back. We're gonna make a bunch of Eagle Kings and some Seraphs. Then we're gonna give him Conjuration 1 is fine. Evo 4 for Storm and Thunderstrike. Or is it 5? Yeah, 5. Okay. That is maybe he doesn't have Evo 5? He probably doesn't have Evo 5 and... Well, he could have Evo 5 and Conjure 5. It's turn 26. He could have both. Yeah. We'll keep recruiting up some units over there. On our side, let's check our image. So I have a decent number of troops. I have, let's see, 150 troops in toto. 33 are long dead. 26, only 26 for Dawn Guard. Hold on, that doesn't sound right. Oh, that's 2 stacks. 2 stacks of 26 Dawn Guard. So 50 Dawn Guard, 30, 33 Long Dead, and then the rest are Swordsmen. So let's get, do I already have a bunch of Dawn Guard? No. Let's get a bunch of Dawn Guard, a bunch of Swordsmen. And that... Let's reanimate. Get our long dead giants. And then we've got some milk carts in charge. I think specifically I have a fire milk cart. I'm nervous about sending my astral milk carts into that tile. It does have lizard shaman, so if he's got evocation, he could definitely try and magic duel me, which would be pretty bad. And I'm not terribly interested in getting magic dueled. All right, let's give it a bunch of turns to get some units together. Okay. I think he would bring... This is an existential fight. He could probably bring... Am I not recruiting? Oh, no, I am. At least 4 or 5 Eagle Kings plus some more other mages. Like, he could bring a lot to this fight. I just have no idea. Oh, he's got all the birds, of course. All right, that's 80, 160. I think I said he had 400. Give or take. All right, so that's 400 on all these guys at least. And then he does something like Storm. What is Storm channeling? Travel through the mage and other mages. The caster, this enables the caster and the other mages to cast with powerful air. So, okay, so it gives everybody air magic +1. Instead of everybody casting it themselves. Okay. Sure. Storm. And then T-Strike. This guy then can cast... I guess summon Storm Power and then Storm Channeling. I don't know. That's something better in this first slot. Maybe an Air Shield. Who knows? Aim. Storm Channeling, cast spells, T-Strike. This guy does bunch of air elementals. These all do some kind of waiting action, like aim, air elemental, thunderstrike. Spells. And everybody needs gems. I mean, he could do more than this too. I don't know. So we haven't really seen him actually fight yet. All he's done, I believe, is send one god out. Send the god out to go and fight against the one army of, or the one Yomi dude. This guy can do like a bunch of air elementals. Like this is a lot of firepower. This guy do it too. It's just so many air elementals potentially. Because that's just, you know, the Kalem charm. Okay, well, let's see how this starts off. He's gonna do that with the army that I currently have present. It's about right, actually. No, it was like fewer. Something like that. And then another big stack of these. Let me check my picture. Yeah, 26. It's 148 guys total. It's 2 stacks of 20 or so of these. 26. I mean, I have 2 guys. We can do summon large. We can do summon large. I don't know if we can do a ton per se. Then we need more of these, basically. 129. Yeah. I mean, this is about what our army has in it. So I was going to put some Dawn Guard sort of around to try and catch, right, these air elementals in the front and back. Put these guys sort of in the middle. The good news, it's hard for us to get sniped, obviously, with a milk cart. They're pretty good at, you know, resisting that kind of thing. We don't need meditation because we are going to do a divine blessing, which we should probably get somebody ready for that. Yeah, we'll spam out what we can. Large. I think we have 2 of these guys available with the army. Let's see what else we have. And then we have 2, right now we have 2 earth casters. Who I had doing earth power. And then strength, legion, spells. The casters sit, you know, safely, quote unquote, in the middle. And then, okay. These guys would all be on hold and attack. Can actually split one more squad out here. And let's tighten up our formation just a little bit. Who did I send in with him? Eric. And then Enosh. These two. Where's my other? Which nature guy did I give orders to? Oh, this guy. You can go ahead and return his stolen gear from the god that we were fighting. Let's go ahead and proceed to the next turn because we need our profit. To do Divine Blessing. And then cast spells. And then let's go ahead and save and make some copies of this. This is ASDFE, I believe. So we'll go ahead and just see how this goes real quick. I don't know if he has all this tech. He's done a pretty good job of not showing anything so far. So I just am assuming based on, you know, typical Calum things. Okay, so back into Hinnom. And let's march out. Let's see how this goes. Nobody needs any gems except this one. So I'm gonna have him get larger. Okay. Let's just see what happens. I kind of think we're gonna get wrecked with it just... Oh, these guys are not positioned well. I forgot they were on Melkart fluffing duty. Yeah, there they go. There are the air elementals, lightning. Okay, we actually kind of totally biffed that and still won easily. His god, I don't believe it was awake. It might have been, but the thing, so what the only piece of information that is kind of giving me a hint that his tech isn't amazing is that his god isn't doing Moss Body on itself, and that just seems, it's not even like finishing its buffs, it's not even like trying to use all the slots in a buff script. And I think if he had Conj 5, Evo 5, yeah. But I don't know which, like, so he could certainly bring more than this, but we kind of totally screwed up our formation and still, like, kind of easily won. Let's go to test. Let's go to game 3 and fix those. Fix the positioning on my poor Akkas who are in the, in the wrong spot. Terribly positioned. I think we can also give a handful of guys as bodyguards for each of these. That's true. They will be weaker without Evo 5. All right, where, yeah. No, I mean, that's absolutely true. I'm busy in testing worst case scenario mode, I think. Because if we can beat both of them, if we can beat him with both, then we should be okay to beat him with either. He also, you know what? He teleported. So we know that he has Thaum 4. Because he doesn't have any air, and he teleported onto Yomi. And I just don't know what Thaum is doing for him. Okay, let's try that again. We'll check out what Thou might be doing for him in a second. Now we're all a little bit more snugly in our safety. Why did you... He enlarged himself. It's funny. I don't know if it's a site search play. I think it's a magic phase attack play, because that's what he did to Yomi. That's, I mean, maybe it is. So this time we didn't do quite as well. We lost all the mages except the Melkart. I guess we lost fewer troops than I thought. I mean, I don't know if this is 22, this is 2,200 gold on his part. Each one of these though is 25. These are even more. These are 40 apiece. And then some mages. So we did win. And we don't think he has, though. He has a Titan God. He has, I killed it, so we can hold on. We can go to the Caleb side. I got me resummon it. Summon God. Call God. He's got this guy. Although his paths are wrong. It is 2 water, 4 astral, and 2 nature. And he gave him... I got rid of the whole kit. He gave him a midget masher, a sword of quickness, a sword of sharpness. This guy's also lost an arm. He actually has 1 more slot. Black steel helmet, the fish scale. It's a DE item. This one, the fish scale for liquid body, and then a burning pearl. What is the summon? Oh, the Caleb summons? I don't know. Wow, Caleb has so many spells. We'll figure out if it's a summon when we get there. I don't want to have to look at all the summons. So I think the idea is perhaps remote greedy site search paired with using this guy as the Dominions. Yeah, he makes elephants. He makes sacred white elephants. But they can't move either. Okay, so I think we've shown that we can win this fight. Let's go ahead and quit without saving. Let's go back to the game here. What I'd like to do, we'll load in here. So now, we are creating, I don't know when you got here, Cookies. I have a Melkart. Yeah, he might be able to buff them. They're in his cap, though. Or here. I don't think that there are any around. So we've got this guy, and we're going to give him 1 more weapon. Who, with a Nature Mage, I'm actually going to do potentially 2 Nature Mages, giving him Enlarge, Regen, and Swarm. He kills the god, because we have this arm, or this axe of chopping off arms. And his god has 4 arms. We can do a lot of chopping. And it's hilarious. So what I want to do, now that I think we actually can beat, hopefully beat these armies, is move our army onto here. So that's these guys, this guy, these guys. And they're going to be on Enlarge and not Protection. Yeah, I think that's fair. Put him on Enlarge. Put him on Enlarge. Earth Power, Legion Strength, Legion's Teachings. Earth Power, Legion Strength, Strength. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to bring in this Melkart because he'd be the only Astral Mage, and we're moving on to a Lizard Province, so I think that he could definitely get Magic Tooled. I think that that would be a shame. We don't need to meditate because we're bringing our Prophet. What we could do is Phoenix, Fire Shield. We can actually do a couple of these teachings of Sham Shield and then attack. And then this guy is going to be held in reserve. So the idea here, we're going to move and attack. Let's make sure our positioning is okay. Tighten up the formation. I think I want to make sure we've got Dawn Guard sort of in and around. Okay, these guys all have bodyguards. Yeah, Dawn Guards should... I think this will push the Dawn Guard out. This behind, this behind, this behind. And these guys don't. These guys are in skirmish. Let's put it in a box. Can we do it more like this? And we protect as many mages as we can in the middle. Yes, there's no... are there any limping troops? We got some cursed troops. Yeah, no, we don't have any limping troops to worry about. Our army actually is of course fairly healthy. Yeah, that was my original thought. It's probably better. But the other ones, they could be in that. It's going to make it harder to hit our other guys with Enlarge and our spells. It also means that the air elementals won't have any buddies if they trample in, which I think is actually potentially relevant. If they head into like these boxes. Hinnom has everything. We all know this. My wife is laughing at me in the background. Why wouldn't it get healers? So I think the plan is we're going to attack here. We'll see what the god does. We can see the god now. The god can magic phase himself into the fort. The god can move. If the god magic phases into the fort, I think we try and hit him with the Uno reverse card. And we're going to send in Gamliel here, who maybe we'll rename, with his buffer buddies, and try and kill the god when he rides out to kill my army. I didn't account for Jade Serpents in my testing, but I'm hoping that we're going to be okay. The other thing, right, is he could just, like, ignore me and just, like, send all the birds into my homelands, then I have to deal with that, and that'd be a pain in the ass. But that feels kind of like a mutual self-destruction and not or like a mutual assured destruction, rather than actually winning. But that's a great idea. We can definitely send our Patheus in to potentially die. We'll get the, I don't have anybody in the Hall of Fame yet. This is the most tragic battle against a bunch of barbarians, right? They spawn in my province, and like, that's really annoying, but you know, it's okay. We'll farm some experience. All right, we're going into the fight with 18 experience and 1 kill. There's 50 barbarians here. These guys routed before they even like made contact. We killed like one barbarian. We killed two. And maybe we'll catch another one. We're not even like chasing the closest guy. Yeah, we killed two barbarians. Actually tragic. Yeah, the Hall of Fame is currently not got enough me in it. But looks like 2 Dione are down. But I'm sure we'll get in there. We'll get in there soon enough. He is a scary giant. Okay, so yeah, and like I said, we're researching up to Alt 5, so going forward with that shock resistance for everybody, I will be a lot less afraid of a lot of the things in Calum's arsenal. And we're gonna get some peeps together to deal with potentially an Albion invasion, although again, one that has potentially been cut off by Femoria. That's true. Yeah, I guess gods go in the Hall of Fame. I guess they do. My army could be the difference in getting him into the Hall of Fame. Let's hope not. And again, I'm pretty sure I have calculated movement correctly. Each one of these is a snow province, so each one adds movement. Which should mean that the god with 20 movement can't make it here. That's true. I don't know what Albion is gonna... I haven't quite figured out. He's got blood, water. He could potentially add earth and nature. I tested his giants. I gave them the +4 demon buff. They didn't get particularly close to killing my Melkart. So we'll see what happens. They don't have magic weapons. They went for MR instead of magic weapons, so putting Body Ethereal on a Melkart is just, like, extremely effective. He could have, like, maybe he's got some, like, in-army thugs, probably. That could be dangerous. So, I'd like to obviously see exactly what he's got before doing anything too crazy, but we've got a toolbox that looks like Melkart's, so that's what we're gonna use. I also would like it wasn't well, they double picked at the end, so I don't know if technically maybe it was a second round pick, but it was functionally indifferent from a first round pick. I should have first round picked it. I have no air gems. This is a travesty. I have water gems. I don't even have water mages. I am moving out more air mages to try and search because I couldn't even start like remote site searching without having some base income. Let's make sure everybody's got orders. I guess this guy I guess it moves. That's fine. I have 2 commanders. Don't know what to do with. Yeah, that's true. Caleb's cap does have air gems. I would like to fight Caleb's army in a more piecemeal style than immediately charging onto the cap, but we will have to see how that goes. Why is this guy on defend? Go this way. We're certainly not like all the way there, but let's put, probably do fewer blood slaves, but plus some nature gems for swarm. Earth gems for stuffs. Move that guy too. I actually made some scouts this game. We're currently in the picking at the edges stage of our fighting. We're not in the charging the cap stage of our fighting. He has so after the initial birding, he hasn't really done much raiding. So I wouldn't be terribly surprised if this turn we get absolutely whopped with raiding. Well, this army is currently using 0 gems. I mean, technically, I guess I've got 1, but it's saying that's not even critical. But this is enough gems. I will, when we get there, this is enough gems. I guess I could put a couple more nature on. I don't think we need more earth yet. Because, like, if we take this fight, there's a lab here. We'll be able to restock. Because, like, next turn, we don't finish any new research besides enchantment, which I didn't actually bring any fire mages with me, so we're not doing anything from an enchantment perspective. Or not doing a lot anyway. I don't think we need haste. That's the animals only, I think. Yeah. This is spell singers. Then we'll get our alt going. Honestly, I think we should just go right for alt. There's just I didn't bring any mages who can actually cast this any of these enchantment spells. Like anti-magic's great, but I don't think we need it yet. Do it like this instead. So we guarantee we have alt. Because once we have alt, we'll want earth gems for lightning resistance. Looking to see if we need anything else. Cold resistance wouldn't be terrible. But again, I didn't bring any I didn't bring any fire mages yet. Baleful Star is quite a spell. Don't need any of these things. Wooden Warriors would be nice as well. So yeah, a lot of good stuff. If we get to Alt 5, we're going to be able to add a lot of bonus protection, a lot of defenses to our troops. Yes, I feel like this is the first game I actually made the choice to make some scouts instead of mages for a turn or two. And I feel like I get to actually know what's going on in someone's lands. It's wild. I guess patrol. In case we get more birds flying. Okay. I think we're gonna try this. I'm still nervous about what magic Calum could have. While I have tested beating his god, it's one thing to test beating a god, another thing to actually do it. So I would like to get his god off the table. That will make me feel a lot more confident marching around with this army. I think a couple of them were fort turn, but not a ton. I think it's this was it? Let's see. I think it was this province. Yeah, it has some. I think I had one turn where I couldn't afford a mage, so I made 2 scouts. And I made some scouts obviously before the fort went up. But they're so much cheaper than my stupid. I just don't have any other way to get scouts. I don't have any. This province was too valuable to not fort. We have a 22,000 province, a 15, 21. We have a pretty good amount of decent. Don't ask me. Oh god, I definitely don't have supply items. Are you trying to tell me that this swamp isn't going to have enough supplies for my colossal army of troops who already starved a little bit on their way here? Well, here's the thing. They can only starve for like the one turn. Because the plan is to hit this and then back off. So then they'll come back. Some of them have some afflictions. Milk carts. Oh, Abyssia. It's true. Abyssia doesn't starve. I could go ahead, though, and make some supply items. So the bag of wine is 50. The cornucopia is 50. Obviously costs a lot more, but gives you, like, a real thing to be doing. Where's my... I have a thistle mace, so I could go for a cornucopia. I definitely want a cornucopia at some point anyway, because we can cast Howl. We're working on the Long Dead. I could probably add another Long Dead caster, to be honest. Once this guy finishes site searching this province, basically, I think he's going to walk up here, forge himself an amulet, and start summoning. I thought I had another one, to be honest. Yes, the scouts can hold supply items. Well, it's less that I was worried about wasting this slot. I just meant, like, putting the gems towards something which doesn't just do supply. Because, like, I want some amount of cornucopia anyway, so I can put it on an Akka and have him cast Howl for just one real gem. Eventually. But for now, I suppose we can content ourselves with some supply items. Am I going to get just the one right now, I think? I think that's okay. A little bit of starvation. It's one turn. We've got a good general. What's embarrassing is that I starved on the way over to this fort and already completely forgot about it. Make sure there weren't any more messages. Oh yeah, the first person's already dead. Aramore has been defeated. Yeah, but like I only have, right now I have one hammer. I'm making a second one. We're working on it. I have a nature mage. Why doesn't he make more supply? Everybody's too hungry. That's right. See, this is it all. It's all coming together. Like I said in the messages earlier, the only thing they can't do is afford the late game. They are too hungry. They are hungry hippos. Our dude is also cursed, which sucks. But I think he will be okay. Okay. I was like, oh, I was gonna make sure I've got PD everywhere. Should probably, there we go. Alright, and let's double check that all these plus sites I know about and aren't really relevant. Mist Warrior, yeah, don't care. Long Dead Satis Warrior, don't care. This is a nice site. Nature range plus by 2 is pretty cool. And increases growth, which is fine. It's not a huge province, but I do only have growth 2. This would be cool, summoning a vampire, but it's pretty expensive from a mage perspective. And I don't have a fort or anything on it right now, so it's a little dangerous. And then our one throne is the Crystal Throne. Although, because of the Barbarian attack, we have not actually managed to acquire any Crystal Mages yet. I need another gold event. Okay. I think we'll see what happens for this turn. I think it looks it looks reasonable. Empower a shaman? I think it would make more sense to just have a Kohen do it. Once we get like items. Well, he doesn't, I mean, sitting on it doesn't help, right? You have to enter the site. Yeah, you have to enter the site. So I think I would probably just end up waiting for construction 6 and then put a dagger plus something else on a Kohen. Probably. So how much does a vampire cost these days? So 11 blood slaves. The god is full rainbow. It is, I believe, an enchantress. Could also be a crone. Something like that. I think it might be a crone. With the full suite of resistances, all the MR, a little bit of Undying, Blood Surge, Reinvigoration. Yes, it has the cross path for the booster. Yeah, I have every path on the god. So that is very nice, because otherwise, obviously, Hinnom doesn't really have that. Any good mercenaries? You know, what's really outrageous is that Hinnom pays a penalty for mercenaries. Why would you not want to come work for them? They don't eat those kinds of people. You're in more danger as a Rephite than you are as a random mercenary leader. But in any event, yeah, I think I'm satisfied with this turn. We will see what Calum chooses to do, and we'll hope that Yomi also. I know Yomi took one of their forts as well, though we can't see it. So we'll hope that Yomi also gets some good stuff in. All right, I think that's gonna wrap it up here. Abyssia does look scary. Abyssia is now also, so they're not massing to fight me, they're massing to fight Yomi. So Calum attacks me. I start fighting back. Yomi asks me to fight Abyssia. I say let's fight Calum instead. He agrees. I do have an app with Abyssia. He agrees. Calum then presumably convinces Albion to fight me and Abyssia to fight Yomi. But again, Albion fighting me is kind of silly given the terrain. So I would like to finish Calum off, and then I will see what I can do about others. Because I don't know if I can actually fight Albion for the same reasons they can't fight me. Anybody who makes any progress, it could just get all their stuff immediately stolen by Abyssia. Yes, the Albion thing. So we'll see. It'd be really funny if more people got involved. My real fear, actually, let's go back. My real fear here is, so I think I can handle Calum just fine. They probably did, and I think I can deal with Albion. I have a nap. Right, with Abyssia, and given that they chose to go fight Yomi, I don't think they're gonna fight me. If Bod wanted to fight me, that would be a problem. If Van wanted to fight me, that would be a problem. And both Van and Bod are wrapping up their first wars. Yeah, exactly. We're unfortunately not stealing stuff in our game. But I like if you're Albion, right, and you take all of this, and then Abyssia just goes poop, and then just takes it all right from you. Like I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever. All right. I'm not going to get distracted again. I am going to go ahead and sign off here. Thanks for joining me. I may or may not get a chance to stream tomorrow, and then I'm out of town for a week for the holiday. But hopefully get some more episodes of False Pretenders recorded, and we can hopefully look forward to those throughout the week. So thanks everybody for joining me, and I'll see you all again later.